A statement from Michael and Susan Pretti, parents of Alex Jeffrey Pretti. We are heartbroken, but also very angry. Alex was a kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for his family and friends, and also the American veterans whom he cared for as an ICU nurse at the Minneapolis VA hospital. Alex wanted to make a difference in this world. Unfortunately, he will not be with us to see his impact. I do not throw around the hero term lightly. However, his last thought and act was to protect a woman. The sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting. Alex is clearly not holding a gun when attacked by Trump's murdering and cowardly ICE thugs. He had his phone in his right hand, and his empty left hand is raised above the head while trying to protect the woman ICE just pushed down, all while being pepper sprayed. Please get the truth out about our son. He was a good man. Thank you. It happened again. And I hate having to make another video so soon after the previous one. But just about 2 weeks after ICE murdered Renee Nicole Good, government agents have once again murdered an innocent civilian in Minneapolis. This time being Alex Pretti, a US citizen who lived locally and worked as a nurse. They murdered him for filming them in the open, in the street, public space, allowed to film, and especially allowed to film the actions of government workers, government agents, ICE agents, as they were brutalizing immigrants and those who they perceived to be immigrants. Alex Pretti was filming with his phone in his hand and his other hand actively blocking ICE agents from attacking and pushing other bystanders, as well as blocking them spraying chemicals in his face. He was not holding any weapon, and yet ICE have claimed that he was threatening them with a gun, as they claim a semi-automatic handgun. According to local police, he was a gun owner, a licensed gun owner, who had never had any run-ins with law enforcement beyond some traffic tickets. And as far as anyone can tell, the gun that ICE and, the US government is claiming belongs to Pretti wasn't his. And as I say, even if it was, this is a state that allows that, and he was a lawful gun holder. He was allowed to have that gun. But really, it doesn't matter at this point whether he did have that gun on him, what the facts are here at all. Not a single one of these ICE officers, these ICE agents, these thugs, were in any danger. They weren't being actively threatened based on all of the footage we have seen so far. Alex Pretti especially wasn't threatening them, he was filming them, which realistically may be a threat in some ways. It's a threat that they will receive consequences for their actions, their unlawful actions repeatedly. But this was someone just filming their actions in the street. There were other bystanders there, other people filming, and they decided to open fire and kill a nurse. Immigration officers killed a US citizen working as a nurse for no discernible reason. Because they're a bit too blood hungry. because they're a little bit too trigger happy. Or more realistically, and after the events that we have seen happen in Minneapolis over the last few weeks, something that I think is all too true, because they are cowards. They don't want to have anything happen to them, because they are absolute cowards. They are afraid of any sort of pushback at all, quite literally. They will tear gas children. They will attack bystanders and civilians regardless of their immigration status, whether they're citizens, anything. They will attack and kill and do whatever they want to literally anyone because the US government has given them impunity. And it is truly disgusting. Minneapolis is a war zone right now, and not because of the people of Minneapolis, because of these jackbooted thugs that have been given the green light to do whatever they want in the city, in the state. They have been given the green light to disappear whoever they want, to rough up anyone they want, regardless of their status, regardless of who they actually are. Oftentimes targeting people purely for the colour of their skin, and that is racism. I don't think I have to say that, but clearly they don't know that. Clearly the US government doesn't know that. There are so many issues right now with the US as a whole, and these are just the more blatant examples, the more visceral examples. We're seeing civilians. We're seeing innocent people, good people. We're seeing mothers. We're seeing fathers. We're seeing nurses. We're seeing all these different normal, everyday people be murdered or roughed up by government enforcers. Unlawful government enforcers. The Gestapo. And it's so very sad, but it's also just so frustrating. Because right now, the only people doing anything actively are these everyday people. Whether they're going around blowing whistles to signal that ICE is nearby, whether they are filming them to make sure that, or to try and make sure that any possible crimes committed by these ICE agents are stopped or prevented. Obviously somewhat unsuccessfully, but also so that in the future, when hopefully this is not happening anymore, these people, that feels too kind, these creatures will face justice. These are the worst of humanity. Wearing body armor and masks and carrying various weapons in order to racially profile those that they see as others, and then murder anyone who may be somewhat like them, at least from their perspective, but is seen as getting in the way. Because these are legitimately the domestic terrorists in the US. They are the worst of the worst. These are the people that should be in prisons, that should be sent to the far reaches of nowhere to not be able to harm people again. I just can't believe the way things have gone. Less than a month into the year. And only just over a year of this current US government, of Trump being in office. And we are seeing daily people being brutalized, people being blinded, people being injured for life, people having all kinds of horrific things happen to them, and most importantly, people losing their lives for no reason. And the US government will do nothing about it. Federal agents are, quote-unquote, investigating these incidents, but seem more interested in harassing the family and friends of those who are deceased. They will lie, they will cheat, they will do whatever they can in order to hide what they are doing. So we need to continue doing what we are. We need to talk about it, we need to film it, we need to do everything that we can to try and make there be consequences. Because so far we've seen none. At all. And it sickens me. It sickens me so much. So there we go. The 24th of January, probably the 25th, by the time I actually get this done. And another life lost because of these jackbooted thugs. Because of these domestic terrorists. Because of these Nazis. These lowest of the low individuals that think they are beyond the law. Because the President of the United States has told them pretty directly that they are beyond the law. The US government says that they are there to protect and to make things safer. And that's just a joke, really, isn't it? Rest in peace to Alex Pretti. And stay safe out there.
It's been a long week. I feel like I could use a vacation.